everyone, welcome back to another, I don't know if I should say episode, video, whatever. Welcome back to another community question. We haven't had one of these in quite some time now, and I enjoy doing these videos. This is where we get to just talk one-on-one about a variety of subjects, and today's community question is sort of like, has your experience with games dramatically changed as time's gone on? Either as you've gotten older, have had children, potentially gone to like the next level of school, or perhaps in your career, taking your career to the next level. Just how has gaming evolved for you? Obviously, this is going to be personal. Some people won't want to share, and that's okay. That's perfectly cool. But for me, I wanted to just, explain some things to you guys, some of my memories, some of my experiences right now. So if we go far enough back, believe it or not, I was not a hardcore gamer. My brother and I did all kinds of other stuff, played sports. I was actually in a track team in high school, and I wasn't a hardcore gamer, but I did like gaming. So whenever we had a chance, my brother and I, we would always, we would basically be in our living room, and we had the family TV, and we would just plug in the Nintendo there, and the two of us would go, and I would be jumping with Mario and all kinds of silly stuff like that. And as I got more free time, later on going to college and stuff, which is kind of funny because you're supposed to be more busy when you go to college, but I found I had tons of free time. That's when I mainly started gaming more, I would say. Like, that's when I started taking it more serious. That was when all the adult games were getting released, like all your Resident Evil stuff and everything like that. Like, it was a perfect time for me, and I was taking it way more serious. And as I got my job, and got my job, when I started really working, then it's funny because at first I had a lot of time. I really did. I had lots and lots of time. But then I met Serena, and that ate up a huge amount of my time, and I started to game less and less and less. And what's funny is it was around that time, well, no, not around that time, but a bit later, or a few years later, or whatever, I started the website with the whole gang. Like, you guys know Steven, but there was also Ahmed and a whole bunch of other people. And we were basically fans of Nintendo. We all met up during the GameCube era, right? Yeah, during the GameCube era, from the insider message boards, and we decided, oh yeah, we want to make a little site. And anyways, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But what was interesting is, like, now, for example, now I'm moving higher up in the university where I work, and it's taken even more of my time away now. To give you an idea of the week that I have, from Monday to Friday, obviously I'm at work, I don't have necessarily a set schedule, so I don't necessarily start, say, from 9 to 5, if you will. So instead, what happens is sometimes I stay late. Sometimes I'll be there till, like, say 6:30 or 7 or God knows. And so I'll come home, and Serena finishes late. She starts late. She starts around like 10:30, something like that. But she comes home really late. She gets home at around 7:30. So I'm usually the first guy in. So I'll make dinner like really, really quickly, and then she comes in. We'll eat together, and then you know what you want to do after that? You want to just crash, and that's typically what happens with me. Is I'll just sit on the sofa here, and we'll just like watch maybe like a television program or two, and then that's it. The beauty with the Wii U in particular is that it has allowed me to game while we're still sharing that moment or that same space, because we're living in a smaller apartment, so we don't really have much room to actually go and go into another area of the house to game. And also, it's nice to see her too, right? So I want to spend some time with her, so I don't really get to do that much gaming as I'd like. So that's Monday to Friday. We also, Stephen and I, we do like a podcast in amongst that, so you know, whatever time that I might have free to like maybe devote to like a game or something like that, I don't really do anymore because I just don't have the time. Saturday is where I do the bulk of my videos for the site, either capturing footage like for some retro games or things like that, or actually putting them together, editing them, and then publishing them. See, when I come home a lot of times, if I do manage to get home at a decent hour, I'll usually edit a video or two while I'm in the process of cooking dinner so that I still have that little relaxation time, if you know what I mean. But yeah, and then Sunday is usually the day where Serena and I are, it's like our time. So that's where we can go out, we can do something, and then the cycle starts all over again. So as you can imagine, I don't really have too much time just dedicated to gaming anymore. And it's so funny because I'm running a channel here all about like hardcore gaming and retro gaming and new gaming and whatever. And it's funny because personally, like I have very limited amounts of time. But it's funny because I think so far I've been doing pretty good in terms of managing content for YouTube, the YouTube channel here, but also for just me. And there are days where I'll do maybe like this, like I'll do a series of vlogs like this, and that'll free up maybe an afternoon. And you know what I'll do in that afternoon? I'll just grab like a Link to the Past or something like that, and I'll be like, I just want to relax. Let's just take it easy. And it's just that those days are few and far between. And imagine, I can only imagine, I don't have a child, but I can imagine with a child that, you know, you might have been a hardcore gamer, but finding the time, you know, to be like a good parent and a good spouse with sort of juggling, you know, your love of gaming, I can imagine that being quite challenging. Because like I said, just for me right now, juggling between my relationship, work, the channel, and then gaming for me, as it were, it's quite challenging. So I'm just curious, how has gaming evolved for you? Do you find it quite a challenge to juggle all these different things? Are you like a master? Do you have to schedule yourself in order to make sure that you get certain things done, or what? If you feel like sharing, by all means, leave a comment, and it might be interesting to sort of share some of our personal stories. I can imagine that there are some really hardcore gamers out there who have pretty much had to give up everything because just of the lack of time with the career, with the children, with, you know, everything else. And most likely there's people out there that, well, that's why they watch videos like this, to sort of like, you know, just get that their little fix, because that's pretty much the only time they have. All right, guys, well, that was actually a little bit deep. I hope you enjoyed the video. And now you'll have to excuse me because I've got to go edit a whole bunch of reviews for you. All right, everyone. Take care, and as always, thank you very much for joining us. See you next time.